There's a reason why you can't focus. And the Greek philosophers discovered it 2,400 years ago. And no, it's not your phone's fault. Have you ever sat down to study? Opened a book, read the same sentence 3 times in a row, and understood nothing? Your brain was there, but you weren't. While everyone tells you to turn off notifications, eliminate distractions, do the Pomodoro technique, you remain stuck in the same place. Okay, so let's get back to the video. Chapter 1, The Wait. Let me tell you Kale's story. He's 17 years old, lives in Ohio, and is studying for his college entrance exams. Working class family. Father a factory worker. Mother a nurse. Kale is the first in his family who has a chance to go to a decent university. He knows what's at stake. He knows that exam could change the trajectory of his entire family. But every time he opens his chemistry book, he feels his stomach clench. Kale's problem wasn't laziness. It was misalignment. He treated every page as punishment, forcing himself through summaries, flashcards, and pattern-based exercises that created the illusion of knowledge. His stomach tightened, not because chemistry was impossible, but because his entire motivation was built on fear of disappointing his parents, fear of being the dumb friend, fear of failure. His brain recognized he wasn't studying to understand. He was studying to neutralize anxiety. That mindset blocked real learning and trapped him inside repetitive, shallow loops of memorization that dissolved a week later. His frustration was the predictable outcome of a process designed to avoid thinking rather than produce it. Chapter 2, The Invisible Enemy. Kale did what most students do. He avoided confusion at every turn. Hard problem. Skip it. Confusing concept. Copy the teacher's explanation. Feeling stuck. Watch video after video until something sounds easy enough. He wasn't learning. He was training his brain to retreat from cognitive strain. School had conditioned him to treat not knowing as failure, so he eliminated uncertainty as fast as possible. But confusion is the engine of understanding, not a defect. Every major leap in human thought starts inside that uncomfortable space. Kale spent 6 hours consuming content and 0 minutes processing it. He believed he was productive, but he was simply avoiding the only state where thinking happens. Chapter 3, The Discovery. In the library, a random line from Plato disrupted Kale's worldview. Wonder is the true mark of the philosopher. The Greeks had a name for productive confusion, Thaumazein, the spark behind all genuine inquiry. For them, not knowing wasn't a weakness. It was the ignition point of thought. As Kale read more, he recognized that he had been studying to fake competence, not develop understanding. That realization broke the cycle. Confusion wasn't the enemy he'd been escaping. It was the doorway he had refused to walk through. Chapter 4, The Inversion. Kale returned to chemistry and flipped his entire approach. Instead of rushing toward clarity, he confronted the concept he hated most: chemical equilibrium, and refused to escape the discomfort. He asked real questions. Why does this work? What is happening at the molecular level? How does pressure shift equilibrium? He held the confusion long enough for his brain to construct internal models before checking the textbook. When he finally read the explanation, it wasn't filling a void, it was verifying a structure he had already begun building. That shift activated deeper neural pathways. Retention became a byproduct of genuine inquiry rather than forced repetition. Chapter 5, The Resistance. Thinking slowed him down. While others filled pages of solutions, Kale wrestled with a single problem: refusing shortcuts. Teachers pushed him forward. Classmates mocked him for overthinking. They optimized for test answers. Kale optimized for comprehension. He recognized that speed favors memorization, but depth favors long-term content. The educational system rewarded the former, but reality rewarded the latter. His deliberate pace looked inefficient, yet it built the type of understanding that survives beyond exams. Chapter 6, The Transformation. 2 shifts emerged. First, studying became enjoyable because curiosity had replaced fear. Attention no longer required discipline. It occurred naturally. Second, his grades rose steadily, not because he worked harder, but because comprehension replaced guesswork. When exam questions deviated from patterns, others froze. Kale adapted. He wasn't remembering formulas. He was reasoning through principles. The change extended beyond test scores. He stopped fearing confusion and sought it intentionally, understanding that clarity is the consequence of wrestling with complexity, not avoiding it. Chapter 7, the examination during the entrance exam. Cale encountered a chemical equilibrium problem that didn't match anything he had practiced. The memorizer would be lost. The thinker wouldn't. Cale visualized the reaction dynamics and derived the answer from first principles. Weeks later, he received a high percentile score, securing a university place once seen as unreachable. In college, he saw classmates stuck in the same memorization trap he had escaped. They crammed, he reasoned. They chased familiarity. He built frameworks. The Greeks had a word for the moment his confusion crystallized into clarity. Anagnosis, recognition earned through struggle, not shortcuts. Chapter 8. The lesson. Cale finally understood what the Greek philosophers were signaling. His issue had never been focus. It was a lack of genuine curiosity. Forced focus collapses quickly. Curiosity sustains itself. Real learning demands a willingness to remain inside the discomfort of not knowing long enough for meaning to emerge. Thaumazein isn't mystical, it's simply the discipline of resisting premature clarity. This approach is slower at first, but it produces knowledge that endures while fast readers and fast memorizers are forced to relearn everything later. Confusion is not a barrier, it is raw material. When treated correctly, it becomes the catalyst for deep, transferable understanding. If you want more work that dismantles your old thinking and rebuilds real understanding, subscribe and keep the channel in your rotation. Return only if you're ready to think, not consume.